that's not taken out, I'm gonna be fucking pissed.
4, 5, 6, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, that's the password to my love.
Ayo, we are rolling. Episode 3 of Wikkid Witch Entertainment, raving, reviewing, and interviewing. Here I have We Are Robots. Okay, I need to get into your phone again. I'm not going to give away the phone.
Across.
Okay, here we are with We Are Robots. Teeto and Kurtis. Work.Eat.Music.Repeat. We Are Robots. What they do, making music, is automatic to them. They got their names by grinding from 9 to 5, producing music to the early morning hours. Welcome, We Are Robots.
Hi.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate you having us.
Let's just shoot the shit. So let's tell the story first. Where are you guys from?
I'm originally from actually Peterborough, Ontario, but I lived most of my life in Toronto in the Ajax. And
yeah, no, I'm from Ontario as well. I moved to Calgary in like 2017, and then originally from Ottawa though.
And now you two perform as a duo. How did you meet? Let's hear that love story.
you really want to hear that stuff? Oh,
that's what we're here for.
Well, let's roll back in history. So basically, I was DJing a party with all my friends or whatever, and him and his brother, I believe your brother's girlfriend at the time or whatever, they came and they were like whatever standing, and like we're all having a good time, and Captain Blue Eyes over here comes over to me, and he's just like, we started chit chatting whatever, and I'm he's just like, I said something about DJing. He's like, I'm a producer, and I just remember looking at him. Wrong thing to say to me, because my wit just went, and basically I'm like, cool dude, thank you for letting me know that, kind of like snarkily, but like not like just more like a joking way. And
it broke the ice.
Yeah, it did break the ice. It was love at first sight. Basically,
I do some things and stuff, and you do some things and stuff.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. You know what I mean?
Needless to say, we did not exchange numbers.
Did we not?
No, we didn't.
We did not?
No.
I thought we did.
He swiped on you and you didn't swipe back.
Yeah. You were playing hard to get. You were playing hard to get, were you?
Maybe.
Yeah, that's okay. That's right. I love the chase. But so from there we ended up finding we worked at the same gym, and we started talking basically from that point on, and then we went on a trip.
Yeah, I think it was like during a workout that I noticed Teeto from across the way.
Yeah.
Were you guys working out to the same beat? I'm punching the same beat, I can tell it.
You know that song? That song, She's a Maniac.
It was much less dramatic than that.
Yeah.
I noticed him in the gym, and then I went up to him and I just said, hey man, like how's it going? We just started chit-chatting, and then pretty well after that we were both had interest in going to Miami Music Week, and at that point like I was a pretty like established, like I was producing quite a bit, and I was looking obviously to meet some new people in the Calgary scene that shared like that same passion, and we ended up just going to Miami Music Week together, and it was awesome. We ended up meeting like a whole whack of different producers. It was great.
Yeah, it was just basically cool, and I said jump on my bandwagon, and we went from there. Not even close, but yeah, no, it was just like I said, it was just it was cool to go to Miami together, and we just really became really good friends from there on, and now we're attached at the hip a little bit. Oh, my ball and chain. So
it's really inspiring to hear, because I'm going to Miami Music for the first time. As a raver reviewer and interviewer with EDM.com and Wikkid Witch Entertainment. I'm going to be doing raving and reviewing this kind of stuff all over the place. So you guys, thank you for telling me about how really amazing things.
How excited are you?
I'm excited. I'm a little nervous, to be honest.
Honestly, it's so much fun.
It's so much fun, and it's like the connections you can make down there are great, and everybody's got the same end game. Like especially in music, everybody's just wanting to make good music, meet new people who share the same passion. You're gonna have a blast
for sure. Yeah, I'm not going down there with the goal to really experience the music per se, but just network.
Yep.
I'm hosting EDM's Global Insider Access networking event that we're hosting on Tuesday, which brings in together like labels and people from all across the industry, because we're a media company that we coach people about how to write your EPKs and just pitch yourself out there. So I'm doing that, and then we're a sponsor of the EDM Awards as well. So I'm going to be doing this in Miami at the EDM Awards. So
You must be super depressed right now.
well, if I could get into my suitcase.
Yeah. Goals to get into the suitcase.
Yeah, my suitcase is locked from the Juno Awards, so I just need to break into that suitcase, do some laundry.
Let's give her some open suitcase vibes. I believe in you. It's gonna happen.
Samsonite, goddamn you.
Yes. Get in there. You know what I mean? I think it's. They're gonna do a quick little lock. You'll be good to go.
Yeah. They'll figure it out. Or bust in with a hammer and just come in hot.
I mean, that would probably work as well. Yeah, that would probably work.
I know.
Yeah, good job.
Okay, so let's talk about the name We Are Robots. How did you develop that term?
Well, it happened. I think it actually happened like early in the morning when we were producing one time. It ended up where I was just like super tired one day, and because we were both like working 9-to-5 jobs, and we were just super exhausted with our jobs, but we were still like pursuing this passion of like music, and I forget how it went, but like I was like, holy crap, like like we're just super tired, and Teeto was just like, yeah, we're like friggin' robots. So I know like some people would think it comes from like this like metaphysical like AI thing, but like it's really just like it's pretty simple. It just kind of resembled us and like our regular.
So the hustle of not having sleep and just.
It's not because we're robots. But yeah, no, honestly, yeah, I think actually it was Got Your Money. I'm not going to say the last word because I'm not swearing on this, but so Trav, we were working on it. Yeah, I basically looked at him like, we're robots, dude, and it just kind of clicked from there. And just the fact that
because like we'd like produce to like I'm not even lying, like to like almost like 4 o'clock in the morning, and like then we'd go to his place and produce, and then I'd go home and go to work. We both go to work at like 6 a.m. So it was. We were like robots for sure. We
should have called ourselves We Are Raccoons after like a week of it, because literally like plashed out.
Oh man,
But it was fun. That like when you first start, it's like you get that like that desire and that just the energy. And it's so funny because how many times we're like, oh, this is a banger, but it so wasn't.
Yeah, it was just like, this is the one.
This is the money. And no, it wasn't. But
but
it's just like that makes it so much more enjoyable to look back then to now and kind of seeing like, because when we first started, like we have so many different personalities, because like he's ridiculously creative, like mind-blowing. Sometimes I'm just like, where did this come from? And I'm like very detailed, so like all like hearing all those little sounds and like creaks that you wouldn't hear, I hear it. Right. So when we first started, he'd be like, listen to this melody, and I'm like, well, you know what, I hear tick 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 tick, and like I pick out the little things, and at first it was like almost like button heads, but then going from there to like, it's almost like we changed the way we worded things. I'm like, hey man, I like this, but and so on and so forth. And we just found a formula that works. And now he just like literally is like, I made this, here you go. Do what you do, come back, and we'll come back to this in like 20 minutes. And that's usually, and it's just like such a like an ebb and flow of how we go about things now.
Yeah.
In comparison to like, we had a year where, dude, I remember he was like, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, like I otherwise like my journey. I think my journey as like a person is like, I never would have been open to collaborations like a long time ago, because that was just my creative flow. That was just the way I worked, was that like I like to do things on my own. But Teeto, and here's why I say working in a duo, it can sometimes unlock certain things in your life that maybe you needed to work on, was working collaboratively with other people, and really learn to take that constructive criticism and not just be so in your shell about things. So that's why, like, you know, people ask all the time, like, oh, how is it working in a duo? And it's been challenging over the past for me, but I wouldn't have it any other way now.
So. Yeah, and I mean, I wouldn't like I was creative, but like not to the extent. And I mean, you know, as critical as I have been with him on certain things, he's helped me like hear different creative avenues. And now like I'm fully confident in looking at, you know, certain areas that I would never be able to look at before if I didn't sit and watch this little magician sometimes, you know what I mean? So it's just like the fact that you can like have another person, in a lot of ways we're very different, but in the same context, we're very similar. So we have a lot of the same similar values. So, you know, and I think once two people get past the mindset that you think it's an ego thing and more like it's coming from a place like, I just want to see him be the best version of himself and vice versa, that's where we start to really like come together, I think, the most. Yeah,
it's kind of like a marriage, a good marriage, like where it's personal development, pushing each other forward.
When are you going to take me on a date?
When you stop holding that banana.
Nope. It's mine.
Well, there are many different phones to pick up. Let's phone it in about some of the hilarious experiences that you've had working in this industry. Like there are some amazing, like, you can't make this shit up kind of moments. So what are your best can't make this shit up stories?
You want to tell one and I'll tell one?
Like this one time in Miami, or this one time.
You know what? I don't think there's like for me, it's not necessarily like these crazy stories. I think it's just like, for me, it's like the crazy connections I had, like Thomas Anthony, for example. Like we did a mentorship with Tom. And I remember like after every session, you know, normally they'd be like, oh, thanks for blah, blah, blah. I'd sit and I'd talk to Tom for an hour after. Like,
I don't talk to him. You can't talk to him forever.
We would like nerd out and just be like weirdos and whatnot, and just like having those like connections is the same thing like with Paulie and Control Room. Like, you know, I guess like for when I think of crazy stories, I just think about like how I met certain people and now I have this bond, right?
I had both of them on my last episode actually, and that's what they really spoke to as well. Yeah. It's just that they met each other last year and then just all of a sudden best friends. Yeah. And just to share together like the camaraderie of like, are we really doing this? Are we really trying to hustle and work in this industry and just like having your homeboys and homegirl, right? To be like, you know, if we're crazy enough to do this together, then let's just support each other and share.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for me, it's like it's pretty well the same. I wouldn't say like we've had like any like crazy stories, but like more just kind of like it's just been a lot of fun. You know what I mean? Like it's been, you know, when I look back on like the last, I don't know, I guess it's been what, like 6 years now, 5-6 years. But like we've just been from, I think the best memory was Badlands, because it allowed, that was like our first real big crowd. And I remember we weren't sure what to expect, and just kind of going through that.
It's so much fun.
Just going through that like rush of like, you know, having 8,000 people in front of you, you know, and you're just kind of like, you know, obviously like front and center. And I remember looking up when he was on the table and he just, you know, vibing out. And I just thought to myself, I'm like, it's kind of funny because like, this is kind of where we're at in this moment. And a couple of years ago, this We Are Robots wasn't even a thing.
Because as DJs, we're not boring. That's for sure. Jumping around, dancing around. I get on the mic, so on and so forth. But, you know, and to like kind of, you know, continue with what he was saying, like just like when you're playing in front of such a group of people, there's such a, like at the start, I think I'm like freaking out. Like, oh my God, like please don't mess up. Please don't mess up. to like halfway through the set, we're just dancing, throwing jokes at each other while we're playing, and he's like, what song should I play next? I'm like, I don't care. He's like, you're right. He's like, this one. I'm like, yep. Like, it was just like, it's just like organically having fun.
Yeah.
And it's just like, the one thing, if I was going to say to like anyone for DJing, like people don't realize, like if you want to DJ, like we get so internalized on like what people think, but it's you that has that reflection. So if you're like, I can mess up 100 times, and like if I'm like train wrecking but I'm still vibing, they're not gonna know you.
They
don't care.
No.
Because they're like, that dude's having a great time. You know what I mean? So
it's true. Yeah. And like how you're the guys who just stand on stage and they're just like this, like, like looking down. It's like, how do you expect people to be energized about what it is you're playing?
Yeah. So it's like if you guys are having that much fun, that the crowd must be
100%.
Yeah, you're setting up
100%. You create the energy, right? Like, you know what I mean? There's so much you can do with the music, but as like performing, you can like really like make it that much more impactful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
for sure. Well, you guys are still based out of Calgary. Anybody that you want to shout out in the Calgary scene?
God,
oh my God.
I mean, like, honestly, like the one thing I can say is, since we started this project, our main, like a big goal of ours has been to bring together people in the scene here. I think that, when we first started around that 2017, there was a niche here, but it was very underground, and it still is, but it's more like artists talk to each other. Like when we first started, it was artists did not talk a lot to each other. You know what I mean? And that was our main goal, was to try and bring together and almost like a network of artists in the because there's so much talent here, right?
Yeah, there really is. Yeah.
And now we can talk to the Guest Who, Prayer Handz, Control Room, Sara Sukkha. There's so many people right now that are having like major label releases. Like Guest Who is on Thrive. Sara Sukkha's on Tool Room. Like there's so many artists coming out of Calgary right now, and they're just spreading their music everywhere. So it's like, it's nice to see that, because I feel like a couple years ago, we did have, the likes of like Smalltown DJs and whatnot. But I felt that these are our friends. Like we talk to all these DJs constantly, like all the time, and really everybody's supporting each other. Right. So it's, yeah.
I think, like, shout out to all Calgary and surrounding artists and DJs, because you guys are all awesome and doing great, and I love it. And the point of that is, for a community to thrive, we have to have that support structure. We have to have that excitement for other people. When you look at like areas of where music's kind of like not organic, or you don't have that like hype, it's those areas where people are competing with each other, and there's all this ego stuff. And I will say, like, I'm like impressed with how cool the scene's becoming here, and like, even the promoter guys, like all of them, you know what I mean? They obviously there's going to be competition and so on and so forth, but like everyone's trying to help contribute to the actual community itself, right? Mm-hmm. And like, there's not, you're not hearing like the hate. Like mine is Guess Who, Prayer Handz, Control Room, Tom. Like I can, Lainey Kate, sick the taco D. She's my protege, by the way. So I'm just gonna be like, Tykromm, the most underrated dude I know. Super dope. Yeah, oh man, he's crazy. But the point is, like, all these people, like, like even guys that I don't like, that I don't know very well, like, Smalltown DJs, those guys are like, they're pioneers. Like, so there's all these things that are happening, but there's so much like love, and it's just like you go to like different cities and you don't see that. And when everyone, like people, my friends from Edmonton come in, they're like, what the heck's going on?
Well, it used to be,
you know what I mean?
Used to be like that when you came to Alberta, everybody used to talk about house music. They say, oh, Edmonton has a really good scene. But now it's kind of done like
they're all moving to Calgary.
Like a flip, yeah.
They're all moving to Calgary. Everybody that you mentioned pretty much has been on my mind.
Where are the cool people now?
We're not cowboys.
Yeah, but like, and I feel like that, that just contributes in large part to, being a network and, really supporting everybody.
Yeah. And doing it for the love of it, because we are all robots. Right? I guess that's the message.
Well, and every artist knows this, is that like, you don't get into music to make money. Like you get into it because you love it.
I do 100%. Makes me happy. Mm-hmm. There's nothing else. Like I'm fine with everything else I'm doing, but like, it's like people watch TV. we make tunes. You know what I mean? We get excited to like, you know, like it's therapeutic to me. Like, you know, if I'm in a bad mood, I just press a bunch of buttons and I get lost for a little bit. And that thing that was bothering me doesn't bother me anymore. Yeah. So it's just like, you know, it's coming from like more of a pure place in comparison to being like, what can I do to like make all these people like me?
Yeah.
I know for us, it's like not even on the radar. Like we don't really care about that at all, right? It's just more of like, it just makes us happy.
Yeah. So anything that you're excited about that you want to mention in 2023 coming up?
So many songs.
Yeah.
So much music. You know, and it's just like we took time. We really took time. You know, because you know people want to get stuff out, and sometimes it's not good to be like overly critical. But we took time to like really like perfect kind of like a sound that we wanted to go in different directions too. It's not just one style of music that we've been doing, but it's just very like distinctive things you'll hear that you'll know it's us, right? And we just took the time to learn. We took the time to like really like, you know, get some positive feedback and some negative feedback and kind of see what direction we want to go, because we want to be able to, when we start releasing these things, you know, when you go into a house, they're like, oh, that sounds like We Are Robots. Yep. You know what I mean? That's kind of the mentality we have moving forward. So yeah, we're just really excited to have some of the stuff we have coming out. We've got a lot of really cool stuff. We've got some awesome collabs. Yeah. Some straight bangers, as they say. But
with our friends.
Yeah, with our friends. Yeah. And I think that's another really thing that I'm excited about. The core of guys that we are working with, we're all friends. And we all have fun the same way. So it's just like, you know, getting into a studio and just busting jokes. And next thing you know, we made this like, you know, amazing song.
Yeah, like every tune is just made with like laughing the whole time. You know what I mean? Like every time like we collaborate with the guys that we have in like the last year or so, it's just been jokes, you know? But like it's just a lot of fun. It's pretty much the only way to describe it.
Yeah.
I thought like heavy metal and techno were the two genres of music that I just had no kind of tolerance for, right? You'll go to Berlin, you might
get sucked
change your mind. You get sucked in. They have this incredible club called Berghain, which is like world renowned. And
Do you like techno?